Oh, right, we've drawn. Not disappointed, to be honest. It's probably, not one of my first picks. But I've got a 2-peg gap, where it's every other peg everywhere else. And I have caught some silvers there before. I think you wanted to be sort of 9 to 15 and opposite, but I'm just on the opposite bank, just up a little bit. So I'm happy enough. Let's get down there and have a crack. Us in. I've got lines everywhere, so I think it's going to be tough today. I think £20. If we can get near £20, we'll be alright. So, got a line down here. Just going to feed all the lines with a little bit of loose ground bait. I'll actually feed a little nugget on one line. And there. I've got another one just in front of me.
Put a little bit of loose in there. This line here looks lovely for some fish. It's like a nice plateau there, so all the same depth. I think that's going to be my best line there. Just take that off. And I'm just going to start tight across. I'm just going to tap a few maggots in just in case there's an odd hide about. So elastic's playing up again. A little pot. Just tap a few in, see what happens. And then just a little bit of loose ground bait. Right, we are fishing. Now this little bit where I'm fishing here in the winter is normally brilliant for daubing carp because it's quite deep, but you still do daub an odd big skimmer against this island. So we might hook a few carp, but we might be lucky and get an odd big skimmer over there, so we'll see. Oh, they're getting sitting for some reason. Hoping there's going to be a few hide and stuff over there as well. And what I have done as well is I plumbed up to the next pallet next to me. I'm just going to feed ground bait quite positive there because you catch so many big skimmers in the edges on you when you're fishing for carp, even in the winter. For some reason that float does not want to trim up there. Tiny little bite there. Skimmer. go. It's the first one. Not a bad little stamp ain't either. It's well hooked. Lovely. I'd be surprised if we get another one off this line. So I think what it's going to be today is just like, because I've got that sort of far shelf, 3 lines the same depth, and down my middle 3 lines the same depth, I can just keep just dropping in on all the different lines. I think it's too shallow to be able to get a good run of skimmers. But if you can rest them in between catching one and not kind of exhaust it, you should be able to keep a few bites coming. There's a bite. There we go. Just awkward fishing our way, that's the problem. A skimmer. That's a real good sign, that is. So I'm going to come off this line now. Come here, you. Oh yeah, nice skimmer. There we go. There we go, boys. What I'm going to do, I didn't want to feed loads of lines too early because I've got a few more lines for fishing across, so I'm going to re-plumb up that line to my left and then feed some ground bait and I can bounce between the two then. So where's my plumb bob? Right, I'm going to carry on for a little bit and we'll catch up on the hour mark. Right, so we've been back on that long line and I've just had 2 little skimmers, like 3 ounce a piece. So I've just gambled a little bit, I've just topped it up with a little bit of ground bait and I've just dropped now into the deeper water, down the middle. And I just had an absolute screecher of a bite, fresh air there. But it's a good sign that there's some bites to be had here. At least then you can rotate off a few different lines, and I think that's going to be really important today, especially up this end here. So we'll see what happens here. I've got this line as well off to my left, so we can drop in, and our wind's a bit naughty there now, look. But we've had 2 decent skimmers, 2 little skimmers, and missed an odd bite, so at least there's some fish in this little area here. Catching a few fish opposite. There's a few fish coming out everywhere, to be honest. There the boys, Rob. Rob opposite, he's had a couple of skimmers. Ben, Carl has had a few. He's got 2 skimmers to my left as well, in the gap. Come on, get under now. Why can't I get another bite there? There we go. Ah, roach. We swing him. there was a fish there. Just the wrong kind. Problem you've got is like on these canals here, like we're all doing the same basically, all fishing like out of our pegs, but all it does just shortens the gaps up. Was that a bite then? So just makes the pegs smaller. Right, we are bang on an hour in, and since I spoke to you last it's been poor to say the least. I've just started tapping maggots into my left. First dropping after doing that I just caught an eyed, but the lad to my left is catching well. He's fishing in the gap between the two islands. He's had 5 or 6 eyed. Some fish getting caught opposite as well. It's fishing quite well, you know, not amazing, but there's fish coming out. Every time you look up somebody's netted a fish or playing a fish. So let's see if feeding maggots is the way to catch them. I sort of hedge my bets on a couple of little ground bait lines catching skimmers, but maybe those skimmers won't want to feed until a little bit later on at this end, just because it's a bit shallower. So for now it's just a case of catching whatever I can now, I think. I've topped up my right hand line. I caught a little tiny fish on it. Been back in there, I missed a little indication and then sat there for ages without a bite, so I just put a little bit of ground bait in there again with some dead pinkies in. And I've tapped some maggots in tight over to that island, because I'm sure there's got to be an eyed over there. But what I don't want to do, I've got to be careful I don't start feeding everywhere, you know, it's only a narrow little peg. Don't think you've got like the amount of fish here to have them spread everywhere. You know, like I caught that eyed now, straight away after tapping a few mags in, and you can't get a bite again. Definitely going to be one of them faffing about days. That eyed head was on the drop, see? So I'll keep moving my rig. I would like to ping some maggots there, but we're all so close to each other. If you have one bad feed, it's going in somebody else's peg, that's a problem. See, no more signs. Let's go to that island. Oh. That's a foul look, that is. That's a foul looked eyed, I think. I think it's a carp. Didn't look a big swirl when I... Let's have a look, see if you can see what it is. I'm hoping it's a big silverfish. Oh no, great big carp in the mouth. Why are you letting him have all them big skimmers next to you there, Rob? Yeah, why are you letting him have them then? Ah, you're not trying hard enough. Huh? Big-eyed. And he's gone like the darkness at dawn, Rob. Oh, and he's tangled my rig. Would you believe it? He's done a demolition job on my rig here, Rob, as well. Oh, there's some carp in that little bit there, I know it's a dog bread here in the winter, Rob. By the humble silver birches. Right, we're coming up on 2 hours in now. It's gone rock hard by I've had one big skimmer. I just fed a little bit of slop on my right hand line. I dropped in instantly, caught a big skimmer, and then can't get another bite anywhere then. I've been to my left, not a bite there since that little hide. Back over that little bit of slop, not a bite. I'm just down the track, if you like, now. I've had a look to my right, not a sign, and I'm just on this line here where I've been loose feeding a few maggots, but I don't know, it don't seem like there's a lot of fish right down the middle. They all seem to be, 3/4 and across on here. Like Augie out of the blue just had 2 big skimmers, 2 drops, probably like a metre off the island. Ian Driscoll on the end's catching quite well on 41. They're catching a few fish opposite me as well, like smaller fish, but it's hard to see at the minute where you're gonna get a few bites from, to be honest. Can only get bites off that one sort of right hand line. No bites anywhere else. Oh, there's a bite. Old-eyed. What's he doing down the middle? That was a tiny, tiny little bite. Just about to come off that as well. I'm going to feed some pinkies across against that island tight. Must be nice to draw on fish, Rob, is it? Must be nice to draw on fish. Every time you put that little station down, it's... Huh? Silly man. Uh-huh. Start loose feeding pinkies down here. Zippity zip. I didn't expect that. Start loose feeding some pinkies here. Oh, there we go. That's interesting. Loose feeding pinkies. It's a big skimmer, is it? Yeah, it is, look. What's he doing there now? There you go. Ah? Oh, lovely. You what, boy? From where, Chili's? Got Callum's head on a swivel now of catching them too. We are halfway through, just under halfway. Are we halfway? What time are we fishing till? Yeah, we're halfway through now. I've had to go across. I caught a little skimmer, well, a half tidy skimmer close to the island, and then I hooked a carp straight after. No more bites. So I've just dropped back down the middle now. First drop back in. Got a big skimmer. Lovely bite. Wallop and a good quality skimmer, so. At the minute, this is the best line now. That line where we caught early has literally faded away to nothing. Callum's had a good run now. Callum's had to catch a few big skimmers. Peg 32, a couple of pegs down. He's catching a few good quality big skimmers. But I think Ian Driscoll will be winning off 41 up in the corner. To my right, it looks the worst peg on the lake, to be honest, but sometimes those silvers just live in that little corner for some reason. And he's catching skimmers and eyed up the bank, I think, looking from what I can see. But there's still plenty of time if we have a little run on this short line here. So I'm loose feeding pinkies on this line. On the line to my right, which is the same depth, I've been loose feeding pinkies there as well. Just to give me somewhere else to go. For whatever reason, I just cannot get a bite to my left whatsoever. I don't know why. But there's obviously an odd skimmer down the track here. And when you get a bite down here, it just seems to be a proper fish every time. What would be nice if I can drop into my right hand side, catch one there, and then we can just bounce back and forth then. But I don't think there's not a million bites to be had, so it's just a case of just nicking one here and there. But there's some absolutely huge skimmers in here, so if you've got 2 or 3 of them quick, all of a sudden you're straight back in it. There we go. That is the line at the minute. Why is that? Why do they want to be there and not down there? You were on some fish there, Rob. Huh? Rob, you were on some fish there today. You were on some fish. Don't mind it when you catch £20 of them, boy. Right, I'm just going to keep plodding for a while. Right, so a little update now then. It's fishing hard now, it's like everybody's slowed right up. Apart from probably Ian Driscoll, who, to be honest, has probably walked away with this, I'd have thought today. I have had 2 skimmers down the middle on my right hand line this time. They've had 2 bites there. The last bite the float hardly moved. I've had 2 decent skimmers there. For some reason I can't get a bite on this line now. Those across lines just feel like an absolute waste of time. So what I've done is I put a new line in to my left at 11 metres, just coming up the far shelf, and I've just potted some pinkies in there. And I'm just going to loose feed some pinkies. That seems to be the only way I can get a bite. Is wherever I just loose feed some pinkies. So that's the plan. The only the good thing about this middle line is when I get a bite, it's a good fish. So if we can just rotate these couple of lines on the middle now till the end. What have you got? You've got hour and 3/4 to go, so it just feels like a cross. It's just nothingness, to be honest. I'm hoping they will come back on this line. If I can get 2 lines going, it won't be too bad, but at the minute it's just like a fish out of the blue from a random line. And then you just go age out without another one. Still throwing some bait down to this pallet, because it wouldn't surprise me later on if you drop in there and catch a skimmer or 2. Oh, it's a bite, look. That could be a carp. carp, that. Okay, that's going. Yeah. Yep. Oh, the arm's gone off. Dinner time. Open the hook out. That's a shame. That's the problem when it's so hard. When you get a bite and it's a carp, it knocks the guts out of you. Right, so on the last over. And I cannot get a bite now. Anywhere. Nobody's catching anything now, it's just gone completely. No bites anywhere. And I don't know where I'm going to get my next bite from, that's a problem. These loose feeding lines seem to have stopped now. That's gone.
Right, we've just finished the match. That last 2 hours is gone. We've caught pretty much nothing in the last 2 hours, which is a shame because I've just weighed in just under £15 and I'd say we caught pretty much all of that with 2 hours to go. So we've ended up with just under 15. Callum Dix has won it, fair play to him on, where's he been? Peg 4 over there, he's at £23. Ian Driscoll on the end here who's catching well, he's ended up with £20. Rob Jones has had £15, so we've been fourth. It's a bit disappointing really because with 2 hours to go I thought we've got a chance here and I didn't realise I had that much weight. And it's sort of just, well, I'd never had another bite on those middle lines that were really good for us, so the campaign rolls on for now. We've got another ticket here and another ticket at Viaduct, so it is squeaky bum time now whether we get in or not. So we'll give it a couple more shots, and if I have to and we're really desperate, I'll travel to one of the other qualifiers that are a bit further away. So for now I'm going to park up and go to the Indian, I think, with the boys.